At the locker room this year.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, really? That one area there. One area. you're staying a while. You take your coat off. Oh, it's bulletproof.
The United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll Freeze.
Here.
Joe Michaels.
Here.
Keith Johnson.
Here.
Gary Guglielmetti.
Here.
Mark Lloyd.
Here.
Would you like to read the
Notice is hereby given that the Town of Shandaken Zoning Board of Appeals will hold 2 public hearings regarding an area variance application submitted by Mike and Eileen O'Connor for a parcel located at 776 Plank Road, Mount Tremper, indicated as section number 2510, block number 2, lot number 2.300, and regarding the request for interpretation for lodge development submitted by Shandaken Planning Board for the Bella Resort project. The public hearings are scheduled for Wednesday, December 21st at the Town Hall at 7:30.
Is Howard here? Anybody show up?
Yeah. You come up, Mr. O'Connor.
Just to give a little review what you're requesting.
Sir.
Just give us a brief overview for the rest of our guests here, what you're proposing.
We're proposing a garage for our home, a 20 by 24 structure on a concrete slab on elevated land next to a double wide that we have on 776 Plank Road in Mount Tremper.
And the variance that you need is because of the side yard setback, is that correct?
That's correct.
Make a motion to open the public hearing.
Second.
Okay. Second.
All in favor?
Aye. Has anyone signed up to speak?
No.
What are those people doing? Is anyone here to speak to this gentleman with his variance request on Plank Road? No, have there been any correspondence regarding this? No.
There's a referral response from the county.
County to the- Anyone have any questions about this?
Do I recall that the neighbor that is fronting the requested area variance is actually a relative?
That's correct.
I think you said you get along with that relative?
I have no choice.
Okay. I would make a motion to accept the variance request as submitted, and we make a determination that's a type 2 action under the secret review process requiring no further environmental impact. Review, environmental review, yes.
I said.
Second.
Roll call. Board Member Reese.
Yes.
Board Member Lodi.
Yes.
Board Member Michaels.
Yes.
Board Member Guglielmetti.
Yes.
Board Member Johnson.
Yes.
Okay.
And I also make a motion to close the public hearing.
I'll second.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Easy.
You must.
That was it. That's what you just did, you open calls. So you have one left.
revamping his business plan and making some changes.
The next thing we're going to do is the request for interpretation. But I'd like to, before this whole thing gets under motion, if it doesn't particularly pertain to the request from the planning board, we really don't need to hear it. This thing has been reviewed beyond comprehension to the point of them trying to use the zoning board, trying to use the interpretations and meanings and feelings of the zoning code against itself. So we are here to, at the request of the planning board, directed by a court, my understanding is we are asked to make an interpretation of a word. So we have a sign-up sheet and we're willing to listen to everybody, but if it really doesn't pertain to the interpretation, this is not the last venue for you to beat up or decide good, bad, or indifferent. We're here for a specific reason, and we'd like to keep it to that if possible. It's posted on the door. There was a request to try to keep it to 3 minutes. I realize that's hard for some people, but we'll try to do that if we can. And I also would like possibly not to have responses from the audience or any interaction between the people who are speaking and the people in the audience. Then we'll open a public hearing. And you have a list of the people?
Yeah.
Have a motion to open it?
Yeah. I'll second that motion.
All right, we ready?
Let's do voice call.
All in favor?
Oh, I'm sorry, all in favor?
Aye.
Sorry. Okay, now we're ready?
Yes.
Tom White?
Good evening. My name is Tom White. I'm a resident of Big Indian. I'm the chair of the Coalition to Save Bel Air. The Coalition to Save Bel Air is a grassroots organization of elected officials, community activists, community organizations, business and business organizations, skiers, and other concerned residents, who, recognizing the disastrous consequences, came together in 1983 to overturn the decision to close the Bel Air Ski Center. Since that success, this group has acted as a watchdog, advocating for the planning, attention, funding, and the will necessary for Bel Air to fulfill its role as a primary economic driver for this region, and for the ski center to expand to its constitutional mandate. As most community and environmental organizations did, the Coalition enthusiastically supported and endorsed the compromise worked out between then-Governor Eliot Spitzer, New York City, the developer, and others. Like most residents of the area, we were appalled again and again at the seemingly endless delays, frivolous lawsuits, and oblivious opposition by a dwindling number that managed to delay any progress toward the expansion of the ski center and the start of construction of the resort. These years have not been kind to the economic health of our town, schools, or citizens. Tonight you're being asked to make a simple and clear and easy decision that will move the issue of the ski center and the resort toward the compromise that was reached in 2007. The coalition urges you to follow the recommendation of the town planning board as expressed in its request to you dated November 14th this year and passed with no dissenting member. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Rosina Montana?
Good evening. I reiterate what Tom said. I'm a member of the Coalition to Save Bel Air. The 17 years has done a lot of damage in the community, and everyone has seemed to have forgotten the children, because we've lost a generation of children who have nothing to look forward to when they get out of Ontario School or Harborville Central School and they run away from the area. The economics of the area are horrible. People have to work 2 and 3 jobs. I urge you, please accept the definition already adopted by the planning board, and let's get this issue over and done with, and let's get on with it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Judy Shiner?
Good evening, Judy Shiner, Big Indian. We all know the resort is going forward, Both the Shandaken Planning Board and the Middletown Planning Board have approved the resort. The DEC has approved the resort. What we are witnessing now is not about building or not building. What the discussion about the resort is about change. The rhetoric now is focused on delaying, finding whatever can be found to delay. The latest delay is, what is the definition of a lodging bureau? More delay. There are 3 families funding this delay by paying for the lawsuit against our town. I think it's fair to label them as 3 millionaires funding the delay and suing the Planning Board of Shandaken. 2 of the families don't even live here full-time. Both are big developers where they do live full-time. They are costing all of us time and lost potential. Some of their spokespeople don't even live in Shandaken. Building the resort will bring jobs and grow our economy. It will add a large tax rateable. How can one justify opposing this? And why? Because they may see some lights from the resort from their front porch. These millionaires have the opportunity to enrich the lives of their local neighbors with jobs with a better quality of life, increasing the value of their property and offering others a chance to earn a better living and maybe even become a millionaire like they are. I'm for the resort, growing our economy, adding to the quality of life for all here. I hope the board approves the definition of lodging units as stated by the planning board, and we can all move forward. Thank you.
Thank you.
John Henry and Dan Russo.
Good evening. My name is John Henry. I'm from Whiteman, Osterman, and Hanna. We're the attorneys for the Crossroads developer. I happen to have handled the Article 78 proceeding that wound up in this proceeding in front of you tonight. I think our position is pretty well laid out in the submission that we made in response to some comments here. And the issue is really pretty simple, as pointed out at the start of the meeting. The issue is, what does the term lodge mean, and does it include these lodging units that are the subject of this proceeding? We submit that it's pretty plain that the term lodge includes these units. These are units that are intended for transient occupancy to be operated by the hotel, simply as an alternative to a traditional hotel room. The needs and demands of the consumer nowadays are changing. Not everyone wants a traditional hotel room. This is intended to be a feature of the resort for potentially longer term resort guests, but they are all integral features of a resort. I'd also point out that these are common features of resorts nowadays. Ski resorts throughout the Northeast have these types of units, and they fall within the common everyday meaning of the term lodge, as we've shown. The argument has been made that they're multifamily dwellings under the code. That argument wasn't adopted by the court. If it were, the court wouldn't have sent it back to the ZBA. If the court had found that they were multiple family dwellings, would have found that it wasn't allowable. In any event, they're not multifamily dwellings because the town's code excludes hotels, inns, or other similar structures from the definition of multifamily dwellings. We submit these units fall within the plain meaning of the term lodge. And frankly, as a legal matter, if there's any ambiguity in that term, that has to be construed in favor of the landowner, Crossroads here. So for those reasons, we fully support the submission of the planning board, which is a proposed definition of the term lodge, and we ask that you accept that definition.
Thank you.
Is there 2 of you?
No, just
Okay. Louis Kohler.
is Louis Kohler. I reside in the town of Andes. I need my glasses, however, to read this. My credentials and professional experience includes, but is not limited to, management positions in local banks and president of an upstate savings bank. I have supervised both commercial and residential operations. I was the first director of the MARC project and campaign treasurer for the Martinville Memorial Hospital. I have raised several $1 million in public contributions for local projects and secured funding for others. I was a founding member of the Catskill Center for Conservation and Development. We have been and are in a continuing downturn spiral. Jobs, the real estate tax base, real estate values, business closings, struggling businesses, declining population, and other adverse changes are the result of the lack of sufficient economic activity. This trend will continue and in fact accelerate unless positive action in support of the Bel Air Resort project is taken. Bottom line, there is nothing you can do to satisfy those opposed to the Bel Air Resort project. It is time, long past time, to approve the final resolutions needed to move this project forward as proposed. Thank you.
Camilla Lancaster.
Good evening. Thank you, members of the board. My name is Camilla Lancaster. My family has lived in the area for 6 consecutive generations. I'm a Catskill Heritage Alliance member. I ask that the board consider the 3 following points. Firstly, that the housing in question as proposed by the project appears non-compliant with zoning law. Additionally, that non-compliance appears deliberate. Secondly, from a common sense perspective, the scale of the proposed housing is wildly out of keeping with the character and the scale of the area. And lastly, and quite simply, that the members of the board uphold and apply the zoning law in a fair and equitable manner so as to leave no suspicion of favoritism or special treatment. Thank you.
Dr. Lance Hoffman.
Dr. Lance Hoffman, I'm a civil environmental engineer, and based on my many years of construction, engineering, design, and development, I recommend that the variance not be approved for this development project. Thank you. The variance not be approved. Was there a comment there?
All support.
Verification. Carol Urban.
Carol Urban, I'm from Chichester. And I guess I've been following this from the very beginning, about 16 years ago when we all met at Bel Air. At that point, a lot of concerns were raised. My sense is that over the years, those concerns have been addressed, they've been met, there have been reductions in the footprint. Meanwhile, I watch the registration of children in our schools, which is going down every year. I watch the proliferation, so to speak, of restaurants, which do not. And I watch the slow, but nonetheless real decline of shops in our area. All things which are kind of indicators of where things are going. I'm hoping that this infusion of a place for visitors to go will be approved by the board. The variance will be approved as being conforming, and that the zoning board will indeed let us move forward. Thank you.
Eric Wiedemeyer?
My name is Eric Wiedemeyer. I'm the owner of Coldwell Banker Timberland Properties. We are the largest real estate brokerage in the Catskill Mountain region with 5 offices. I've been in the real estate business for 46 years. I've been to many of this type of resort. I will tell you that this is the best environmental designed resort I've ever seen. I think the only other one that comes close may be on Martha's Vineyard with an environmental golf course. It's taken great pains to be so. The resorts that I have been in a real estate fashion, the lodging units are part of the lodge, not separate units. People stay there, they're another choice for them, they're managed by one entity. They're not separate units or separate residential units.